Hi everyone, here's another video. Today is a beautiful day here in the park. It's very nice. Actually, I'm just starting to read a book called Germany, A Nation in Its Time. Before, subtitle is Before, During and After Nationalism, between years of 1500s to 2000s. So far, I read probably first 30% of the book. It's an interesting book. Um, Here it is. However, I'm not yet to. I will talk about that book later. So far, it's been interesting. I'm interested in Germany as how it developed, and especially the whole idea of nationalism. But today, I want to talk about a specific topic about death penalty, and that's one of the most interesting and contesting views in terms of constitutionality and in terms of death penalty in general. Um, I would like to discuss some general ideas of um, death penalty. So if we take philosophical perspective um, from utilitarianism and ruled utilitarianism, is that especially with John Stuart Mill, where he wrote that famous essay on utilitarianism and death penalty and punishment. So for him, we punish other people to create an example, but at the same time to deter other people from committing crimes. So his argument is that, if we have death penalty, then, if we execute a person who has committed a crime, murder, mass murder, whatever, not just whatever, but a genocide or any statutes or laws that, um, that include murder and conspiracy to murder, things of that nature, those people should be put to death. And they should be put because they be deterred, meaning, once a person is executed, then they will not be able to kill again, right? We kill them and it's definitely deterred. But he also says that death penalty punishment is imposed because it's going to deter other people from committing such similar crimes. However, yes, it might deter that person, because once you execute somebody, so you execute a convicted murderer, he won't be able to commit murders again, which is true. But at the same time, it's debatable whether it deters other people from committing such crimes. So, there's a pros and cons, and then that's perspective of utilitarianism. Now, the perspective from deontology, or how from deontology that we have a duty to treat others as they treat ourselves. We have a duty to treat others as they treat us, always as an end, never as a mere means only, means that we shouldn't be punishing people, because we shouldn't use other people as instruments to deter other people from committing crimes. We are punishing them for the fact to remind them that what they have done is wrong, and whether it has deterring effect or not, that is irrelevant. And that idea was developed by Immanuel Kant, which was a German philosopher, and he spoke a lot about duty and the essence of duty, that we do things because we have a duty to do it, not because it deters or it maximizes happiness. So it's kind of punishment for its own sake, but it reminds the individual that what you have done is wrong, and therefore you should be punished. So both of them agreed on a death penalty. They just disagreed on the effects and all that. But death penalty itself, in terms of state, the question is, should the state implement death penalty, and when, or should we have a death penalty? The dangers with death penalty, I believe, is that giving a state right to kill is dangerous notion, dangerous idea, because states, as we know through history, tend to use it, abuse it, and it could, it could kill. They could be innocent person on a death row, and we have seen by DNAs a lot of people been exonerated by DNA and they've been spending a lot of time waiting on a death row for years. But the question is that should the state have that right to death penalty? Should the state have the right to kill somebody who is killed? And that is debatable. It might be a dangerous notion. At the same time, there is that principle in criminal law. It says it's better to have 10 convicted people go free than one innocent being convicted. So the idea that we shouldn't be just punishing and exerting our punishment just because, yes, we do have to have punishments. The fact is that is the death penalty appropriate punishment? Should we take the life of people that kill other people or that have murdered, and should we have that embodiment, the idea of lex talionis, the law of retaliation, as it's called in Latin? Should we have that eye for an eye principle? Eye for an eye, yes, we have to punish the people. We have to do what we have to do. But at the same time, should we do the punishment? Should we create problems and punishments that tend to teach others how to behave? Yes, we should have punishments, but the problem is that penalty, again, if we go back to Constitution and the Eighth Amendment, is that penalty cruel and unusual punishment? And depend who you ask. Originalists, they think no, it's not cruel and unusual punishment. You could have it. Originalists interpret that penalty based on the idea that what did the founding fathers intended. So we knew that maybe it's not clear what they intended by cruel and unusual punishment. At least we have interpreted cruel and unusual punishments that certain methods may not be used to execute somebody. Like you shouldn't behead somebody in the public. You shouldn't hang them in the public, but you can hang them in private. Or lethal injection. We can use this injection, but we can't use that injection because it causes certain pain while the person is being executed, and it could be the problem that it's cruel and unusual because the method that is used shocks the conscience of the people, or anything to that similar. So cruel and unusual punishment is it's not clearly does not clearly define whether should the death penalty be imposed or not. And I mean, there are other rights where should a death penalty be imposed, but I think it's a dangerous notion to have death penalty imposed on people. It's dangerous because the states, as I said, the states tend to use it in a very maybe corrupt way, or and so we always have a chance or possibility that an innocent person might be killed. And if innocent person is killed, we can find out years later or a month later, 2 days later, that this person was innocent. Too late, the person is already executed, so we can't bring them back. The issue with keeping people in jail is, yes, we have to pay for them, but at the same time, if there's any chances or possibility that a person is innocent and that down the line the conviction could be overturned, then that person still has a chance of challenging the conviction based on the evidence. But yes, we have to convict people beyond reasonable doubt, but hey, things happen, and this is why I think we should be very careful as to when we are implementing death penalty or giving or giving that right to state to impose that penalty. So I am weary of that penalty. Yes, some people commit certain crimes that are just repugnant and that shock the conscience. You know, like serial killers, genocide, and all that. But yet, we also have to look at the larger picture of the people that get killed. Um, so far, this is on a death penalty. I might, do another video on death penalty because it's. I think it is a very interesting topic and something that all we have, that as a society should be discussing and engaging in, because it affects the people of the country and the people, and it affects people and how the law is being interpreted. Well, so far, enjoy the weekend.